Making progress towards your music goals can sometimes feel like a daunting task. Nowadays, there are so many pressures in our lives and so much information thrown at us that it can really be difficult to stick to what we set out to do and see improvements. I've found that it's the small things you do consistently over a long period of time that really adds up. I'm Matt Wild, a keyboard player and producer, and I'm here to share music and learning with you all. In this video, I'll share 6 simple habits that have changed the way I make music. The first habit is listening. This is all about listening to music regularly. Actively listening to music and noticing what you hear can be such a big springboard to your own creative ideas. Nowadays, we're often passively listening to music whilst doing other things like going to the gym or driving, which is really great, but actively listening is giving something your full, undivided attention, free from distractions. The first step is to listen freely and just let your imagination wander. Then you could maybe impose some restrictions like listening to a single element in that same song and just focusing on that. Sometimes I'll focus on just the hi-hat, and as soon as I notice that my mind wanders, I just try and bring my attention back. You can repeat this for any element or instrument, and you'll be really surprised at just how much that can unlock the way you hear music. Another exercise you can do is transcribing. In the jazz world, this means to learn by ear, despite the definition being to write down. You can transcribe a melody, chord progressions, bass lines, or drum grooves. Find a song you love and loop a section that stands out to you. Once you start doing this process every day, you'll find that lines just start appearing in your own improvisations or when you're making beats. Habit number 2, recording yourself. Recording yourself as part of your practice can help you hear what's working and where you want to make improvements. Whether you're recording a single line for a beat that you're working on or a full performance on your instrument, this is a really valuable process to just tighten things up and make improvements. When listening back to yourself, try to hear the timing. Are you rushing ahead or dragging behind the beat? Maybe your dynamics. Are you playing loudly or softly? Maybe your articulation. They're just a few ideas. It can be a bit daunting listening to yourself for the first time, but I promise with time it just gets easier. You don't need any fancy equipment to do this either. You can just use your phone, like the voice notes app, or a DAW, like I use Ableton. The important part is to take the time to listen back and analyse what's going on. Habit number 3, planning. This habit might sound counterintuitive to being creative, but I've found that having a plan guides what you're going to do each day, maybe week, maybe month, and will help you to stay focused and work towards your goals. This is all about setting intention for where you want to be, starting with your most ambitious goal. For example, in 5 years, I'd like to have released 3 albums and played a world tour. Then, break this down into yearly, quarterly, monthly, weekly, and daily goals. This way, it'll help you be specific with what you need to focus on each day without getting overwhelmed by the big picture. Habit number 4, taking breaks. In our busy lives, it can be difficult to build in time for rest and restoration. I'm certainly guilty of it, but building breaks in your schedule and taking some time away from your computer or phone to relax, go for a walk, maybe do some exercise, get out into nature, chat with others, can be really nourishing. It can also help to process things that you've been learning or working on. Then, when you come back to it, you might find that you have a new perspective, or that thing that you've been feeling stuck on suddenly just fits into place. Habit number 5, removing distractions. This is a big one for me. We're constantly being fed information left, right, and centre on countless apps like social media, emails, messages, and more. It's definitely not something that I've completely cracked yet, but I've found that one thing that really helps me is to leave my phone in another room whilst I'm trying to focus and work on whatever task I have at hand. Also, recently, I've tried uninstalling apps like Instagram, where I was spending a lot of time, for just a day or 2 and see how it feels. And honestly, it's really helped me with my screen time and keeping focused. This is a really tough one, and if you want to find out more information about this sort of stuff, I'd highly recommend the book Indistractable, which goes into loads of helpful tips and tricks and different ways to regain your focus. Habit number 6, consistency. This might be the most important of them all. Motivation is what will get you started, but discipline and consistency will help you reach your goals. I've always been pretty bad at sight reading music on the piano, so the way that I tackled this weakness was to sight read something new every day for just 10 minutes. Now, 10 minutes for me was really manageable and not overwhelming, so it helped me stick with it each day. It's not always easy to be consistent, and on some days it can feel like a real challenge just getting started. But the more you practice consistency, the easier it becomes. Eventually, what was once a struggle becomes a habit, and that will lead to lasting change. So that's 6 habits that you could try that might change the way you make music. Let me know in the comments how you get on with testing them for yourself, and let me know if there's anything that I've missed that has made a difference for you. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoy these videos, please consider subscribing. See you next time.